Every week, someone on LinkedIn posts something like, AI just wrote my entire data pipeline in 30 minutes. Data engineering is dead. And at the same time, this year's Gartner's forecast says that data engineering job market will be about $119 billion by the end of this year, and it's been growing at 18% year over year. So, which is it? Claude just launched a 4.7 Opus model. So is it actually coming for your job, or is it just one of the biggest cope cycles in tech? Is AI going to replace data engineering? I'm not just going to share my thoughts and point of view, but I will be actually using industry numbers. I'll be sharing actual code samples of what AI does versus what it misses, and then give you my final verdict on whether it's true or not. Quick intro if you're new here, I'm Josh and I have about 7 years of experience in this field. I am right now working at DoorDash and previously I was at Google. So when I say or answer the question like if AI coming for your job or not, it's not hypothetical, it is something that I do every day. So that's where my POV comes from. Okay, so let's start with what's real. The hype is actually earned in some places. Let's take a look at 2026 SWE benchmark verified scores for different LLM models. SWE Bench Verified is a curated set of 500 real GitHub issues from popular open source Python project. The model has to actually edit the code base and produce a patch that passes project's real unit tests. If a model scored 80%, for example, it literally solved 400 bugs out of all the projects. This is the score of all the latest models right now. For context, the original GPT-4 model that kicked off the whole panic in 2023 scored under 2% in this benchmark that was unassisted, and even wrapped around a really good agent, the score was really around in the teens. That's basically going from cannot fix a single bug to solving 8 out of 10 real bugs in GitHub in 2 years. Let me be honest, there's a big chunk of data engineering that is already being automated, and if we don't accept that, we are being dishonest here. Let me show you what I mean. I opened a Databricks notebook, opened the Genie agent, and used the samples.bakehouse dataset. The quick context, this is like a fake bakery chain dataset Databricks publishes for tutorials. It has online sales transactions, franchisee location across multiple countries, customer info, suppliers, and free text customer reviews. Here's the prompt. Using the samples.bakehouse catalog on Databricks, write me a PySpark job that joins these 3 different tables to produce a daily franchise health table. For each franchisee, compute last 7-day revenue, week over week revenue change, repeat customer rate, and average review sentiment. And for the review sentiment, we want you to use the AI query function to actually call the LLMs and write the final result into this table. That's it. No lengthy prompt describing 10 different things in your design document. Just a simple statement that a junior data engineer can easily get out of a daily stand-up. AI also looked at the tables and did a data profiling first, just like a DE or DA would do. About 120 seconds later, it built the Spark batch pipeline, correct joins, correct window functions. It also did a clean AI query call for the sentiment analysis, and also partition the data by country column, which is good for performance. It also wrote tests, executed everything, and verified that the tests did actually pass in the data. But here's the important part. It also got a lot of things wrong that a human would easily catch in a review. It wrote the final table with mode override. There's a report date column in the output implying that this is supposed to be like a daily snapshot, but with the overwrite mode, yesterday's numbers are basically gone if you rerun like the script again. It rescores every single review from scratch. Every time the job runs, the reviews don't change, but the code pays for AI query call on every time. On a real dataset with like 10 million reviews, that's 3.6 billion LLM calls in a year on reviews that is never going to change. So why do we keep calling LLMs again to do the sentiment analysis on the review? Revenue is computed on the last 7 days, but the average review is averaged over the entire history. So reviews from 2 years ago have the same weight as the recent reviews. So if let's say a franchise is doing well in last 6 months, it's basically not going to show you any signals. That's the point. Model writes code and it writes really good code, but you still have to figure out what is wrong with it. If your job is only the things that AI just did right now, then you're kind of like a really bad data engineer. But yes, then you should be scared. Did you know that Stack Overflow traffic is down 67% since 2022? And that's not a coincidence. In US, the DE salaries have been going by over 9.1% year over year. And if you're like a fan-based data engineer, you could easily earn somewhere around 310K or 550K a year in L4 or L5 kind of senior positions. And it's not just a US thing. If you see ambition box for India, senior DEs earn around 35 lakhs a year. And if you're placed at a really good FANG organization, you could earn anywhere in the range of 1 crore or even more than that. This is not what a dying field looks like. So why is that the case? AI made creating code cheap, but it also at the same time made context expensive. Let me show you what I mean. Let's say we ship the same franchisee health pipeline that we just built into production, and suddenly on a random Tuesday on 9 a.m., three things happen. Your Databricks bill alert fires, costs are 4x more than normal overnight, the BI team slacks you, Tuesday's dashboard is a blank, the director wants to know why this week's revenue number quietly changed by 8%. Paste it into any frontier model you know. Hey, my PySpark job is now just costing me 4x more. Why is that? The model will give you a beautiful, confident, wrong answer. It will suggest enabling Photon for faster query execution, or maybe checking adaptive query execution plan that your Databricks cluster created, or maybe it might point out to some data skew that it observed. All the things could be valid, but in this scenario, they are all useless. Why? Because the data lies somewhere where the model has no access to. A new flagship franchise opened in Tokyo last week and is now 40% of daily volume. It's an instant skew that the model couldn't predict. The reviews team renamed a column upstream, and your merge schema equals to true silently dropped 12% of records overnight. Or maybe someone kicked off a 3-month historical backfill at midnight, which is why the cost exploded. Now, none of these things were in the code. They were in Slack threads or Jira tickets, or maybe in some outdated document from 2 months ago written by a data engineer saying that, hey, I'm going to do these things after 2 months that nobody read. Or maybe it was in the mind of an on-call engineer last night. The job is now being the person who can hold all of these things in your head and then explain the leadership when things go wrong in 30 seconds in simple terms. You cannot prompt your way into that answer. You live in the system. Let me tell you what's easy to do by AI: writing SQL, writing Python code, or building ETL pipelines. What are the skills which are actually showing up a lot in the job description compared to something like 2 years ago? It's about data governance, cost optimization, feature store ownership, streaming and real-time systems, AI and LLM infrastructure. So I'm going to give you some practical advice. If you're a data engineer right now, do these 4 things. Stop complaining with the model, start directing it. Use Cursor, use Claude Code, Copilot Workspace, and people who are using it have been able to ship things 3x faster. Go upstream or go deep. So upstream is where you think about data contracts, governance, stakeholder work. It's more like product thinking. Deep is you can go deeper into distributed systems, query optimization, or streaming internals. Go in either one of these directions. Learn one AI native data skill this quarter. Pick one, whether it's building a RAG data pipeline end-to-end, ship an LLM as a judge evaluation system, or own a feature store. Any of these will be worth 20% more on your next comp negotiation. Own the cost conversation. If the leadership in 2026 is asking why is Snowflake so expensive, the engineer who can answer that simply with a dashboard and a plan is irreplaceable. So is AI replacing data engineers? Well, it's replacing definitely a lot of parts of the job, but those are, at least in my opinion, I didn't like those parts of the job. It's like writing boilerplate code or creating glue ETL jobs or managing a lot of tickets. Now what's left has always been the best parts of the job as a data engineer: understanding the businesses, creating tough architectures that do not collapse under pressure, thinking about all the edge cases that model never had any context about, and being the person in the room who knows where the data lives and where it's going wrong. The job isn't going anywhere, it's just getting better tools. Think of it like, okay, you are running bare feet versus you running with sport shoes. Obviously you'll run much faster with sport shoes. But are sports shoes going to replace runners? Well, that's a question you can answer for yourself. That's about it from my side. If you liked this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Also share the video and drop your thoughts in the comment section, because it's definitely a heated topic. We could have a debate if you want in the comment section. See you next time.